When I was a child, my sister would lay on her back, put her legs in the air, put me on her feet, and make me feel like I could fly. I don't know if you called it Superman, airplane, vogelbrett, or something completely different, but I'm going to guess that someone made you feel that way too. But then we grew up, and we grew out of it. We forgot what it's like for someone to make us feel like we can fly. You're never too old for airplane. In fact, as you get older, it gets to be a lot more fun. You get a lot better at it. You get to be a lot more creative. Fundamentally, it's the same, but it doesn't really feel like flying anymore. But it still feels really good to be held up by someone, by a whole group of people. My days are always a little bit better when I get positive physical touch from people that I trust. That's my favorite part, the trust. When you build that foundation of trust with people that support you, that you support, it's inspiring. You become a community dedicated to helping each other reach great heights. There's nothing quite like knowing you can take a little extra risk because there's someone there to catch you. It's so refreshing to be part of a community in which it's okay to fall. We all do it, and we're all there to help catch each other. All you have to do is ask. And asking is easy when you focus on communication, which we absolutely have to do. We tell each other things like, my back has been hurting, or I've been feeling lightheaded today. But the thing that really makes this work is body-to-body communication. A body can communicate its position and balance with an efficiency and accuracy that words have no hope to match. You'll learn to hear things like,
I need more.
That's all I've got.
as you get to know your partner, what you hear will start to be a lot more subtle.
I know, I got you.
Eventually, it'll be a lot more nuanced. More like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now, but I do know that you've got me, and I trust you. So I'm going to hold myself as if I weren't terrified. The biggest difference between listening to a body and listening to words is that a body can't hide anything. It has no idea how to lie. In these situations, it's always completely open and vulnerable, which is why any of this is possible. Being open with your partner feels beautiful. Being open with your community feels sublime. That's kind of impressive. If you are really impressed by that, it's only because you're not that familiar with this. This stuff is actually really accessible. This guy put her 89-year-old grandmother into a shoulder stand. No prior training. First time, 89. How long have you guys been doing this?
6 months.
You want to see something really impressive? Check this out. Impressive, right? Yeah. Lots of people can do a handstand. I suspect that many of you have a more impressive handstand than many of us. I guarantee that every city in this country has a group of 12-year-old girls in some gymnastics studio that has a more impressive handstand than all of us. Well, except for them. Okay, here's the point. I'm not that impressed by our handstands. I am impressed by this. Which of you has the best handstand?
I have the best hand as I can walk downstairs.
And they're all correct. You see, we're not competing with each other. We all have different values. We're all getting something different out of this experience. When you compete, you have to abandon your personal set of values in order to adopt an arbitrary set of standards that may or may not have anything to do with the thing that you love. Let me put this into a completely different context. Which of you has the best height? We all have a different perspective, and we're all looking for something different. So you wouldn't dream that we would have the same answer. Which of you is the tallest?
See, I have the best height.
By picking a feature that's easy for us to compare, I've made it possible to figure out who has the most of it, even if that feature has nothing to do with any of our personal values. What we do is hold people on top of us, or conversely, make it easy for people to hold us up. Can you imagine how different this would be if this was just a race to the top? If we just climbed on top of each other, stepping all over one another? If when we fell, we just hit bottom? If every advantage was taken to be capital leverage to preserve a place of privilege? I have no doubt that this would make people very good at climbing to the top. But I'm pretty sure the game would quickly change from how do I get to the top, from the 1% who got there thinking to themselves, how do I keep everyone else down? With 1 in 7 crushed and starving at the bottom. But that's not what we do. Turns out, we're terrible capitalists. What we do is think about the bottom and build from there. And I'm not just talking about how we do this. I'm talking about how we operate as an organization. We are Fractal Tribe. An internationally performing circus troupe, a group of friends, and a fledgling intentional community. We build systems that help us share our resources, from the food we grow in our community garden to the props and costumes we build in-house. We share our hardware and knowledge, including how much each other gets paid. We have sponsorships to help support each other's creative endeavors and a safety net for those of us that need it. I know that when I act from a place of generosity, my life feels abundant too. I love being part of a community in which I get to take a little extra risk. People will help me up and catch me if I fall. What we found in this community is that everything works a little bit better when you're open about what you're going through, you're honest about what you want from people, and you act supportive rather than competitive. Now, I don't know what your community is like, whether or not this would work for them, but pushing that envelope has certainly worked for this one. If there's only one thing that you remember from this talk, I want you to remember, you're never too old for airplane.